Welcome back to Celebrity Radio. It's Alex Belfield talking to some of the biggest stars and promoting brand new shows coming into London. And something that's exciting the West End is this new production of Dusty, a show that brings Dusty Springfield back to life in 3D. We're talking to the co-writer and producer today, Duncan Sibbald, who joins us on the phone. How are you?
Hi Alex, I'm good.
This is great timing, isn't it? We're ready for a Dusty show. She has to be probably, if not our greatest voice, in the top 5 greatest voices ever in the UK.
Yeah, absolutely. And there have been several shows around the world that have tried to capture the magic of Dusty, but they haven't worked before, or particularly well, mainly because they've had people playing Dusty that either don't look like her all the time or sound like her all the time.
How have you managed to navigate that so you're not going to make the same mistake then?
Well, firstly, we've made Dusty the star, but what we've done, we're bringing Dusty back through the use of video and also for the first time on London stage as a 3D holographic image. So she'll be projected live for 4 songs onto the stage. She'll have dancers interacting with her and backing singers. It's going to be amazing.
The last time I saw that technology was in Las Vegas with Celine Dion, and at one point in the show she says, unfortunately Andrea Bocelli can't be here tonight, so we're going to, by the magic of technology, bring him on the stage, and she does as 3D, and they start singing Time to Say Goodbye and Lovely, and then suddenly a light appears in the audience and she's a hologram, introducing a hologram, singing third-part harmony with herself. That's how good it is. Nobody knew, nobody could tell. It's astonishing technology, isn't it?
It's absolutely amazing. I know that when people come along to see it, they will see Dusty either as they've seen her before or for the first time, but it looks like she's there with you. It's I think it's gonna bring a lump to a lot of people's throats, some of the big fans.
Just so we're clear, are you going to have an actress doing Dusty's voice, or are you going to use her original recordings?
We're going to use original recordings all the way through. We'll be stripping back the tracks so that we'll have a live band playing along, much like they did with Sinatra. We'll have backing singers in some instances, so they'll be singing alongside her track. But whenever Dusty sings, it will be Dusty's voice. It's very important. Dusty is the star of the show, and her music can only come from her.
It's astonishing then how you've managed to get hold of that, because of course back in the day they weren't making copies of copies of copies. They often just made the original record and threw the rest away. How easy has it been getting her voice and getting those records so that they're good enough for this show?
We've had a worldwide search both for footage and for video and for audio. We're partnering with Universal Music on this, and they've been fantastic, really, really helpful. But it's been a job, and you know we want to do this perfectly, and it's taken a lot of effort to do that.
And I guess this is the ultimate tribute to Miss Springfield, who, as I say, had that legendary voice, almost impossible to describe it. Why do you think we fell so in love with her? Was it her story or her music? Because it was a tragic life at times, wasn't it?
Yeah, looking back now, I think one of the reasons is because she empowered women. She was somebody that's now been looked up to by people such as Adele, Amy Winehouse, and what she did for women of the time was she tried to kind of pass through a man's world, and she did it exceptionally well. But I think she didn't realise it at the time, and it took us several decades to actually find that. We chose to finish the show at Dusty in Memphis, so around about 1970, because it's well documented that her life after 1970 wasn't as good, and certainly her private life was something that we didn't want to delve into. We wanted to keep it as a celebration. So we finished at what we felt is her greatest album, and as you know, in the top 100 of many people's compilations of all time.
When you listen to a lot of her music, in fact, only very recently I saw a documentary on her, and as you say, so much of her music is moving and at times distressing. You know, when you look at I Close My Eyes and Count to 10 and songs like that. How are you going to do that on stage then? You're going to have the dancers react to her music, you're going to have the video in the back of her singing it. How's it all going to be put together?
Okay, so we've chosen to have her journey with Dusty, accompanied by Nancy Jones, who's a fictional best friend of hers who became her PA. So she follows through her journey. We'll have real life figures in there, Vic Billings, Johnny Franz, and some of the people that she was with. And when Mary is on stage, and she will be played on stage by a lovely new actress called Eliane Rowe, she will be as Mary O'Brien, so with a dichotomy of her. And in fact, Mary O'Brien, the private Dusty was a different person. She wasn't the person that we see on stage as, if you like, confident. Before she went on stage, she was very, very, very worried about what the fans would think of her. So we've decided to use, and we've written her part as Mary O'Brien. But we're beginning at the beginning in Ealing with her family, and as I said, we end at Dusty in Memphis.
Do you think she knew by the end how special she was and how loved she was and how she would be remembered and paid tribute to by people like yourself? I'm not sure.
No, I'm pretty certain she didn't. I think she needed to know that, and it's a real shame that she didn't know that. I think she had some idea of how good her music was at times, but for instance, she did not think much of Dusty in Memphis as an album.
Yeah, and that's sad. I mean, because that's the one, and as you say, that's sort of the crescendo of her career, really, wasn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Johnny Fans, when it was finished, and the guys at Atlantic thought it was a masterpiece, but that wasn't really known or appreciated for a long while after.
How easy is it getting this show together? I mean, the 3D stuff, as I say, I've seen elsewhere, but it's very rare and it's very costly. How complicated is it to get it into the show? How much time has it taken?
Very hard. I mean, we've been working on getting content for probably nearly 9 years now, but the production side's taken nearly 18 months. Each song that we're using, and one of the reasons we only have 4 songs, we felt that if she was on stage all the way through, it'd just be like a concert, and we want to make sure that this is very special, and when she comes back as a projection, she will, is a wow moment. So we wanted to use that sensibly, but it takes an awful long time to create the holograms. Each section of film is looked at pixel by pixel.
Yeah. And it's, I'm sure, going to be very moving for our friends and family who I'm sure will be in to see the show, because it is like they're stood on stage. You cannot tell the difference.
No, and that's one of the problems we have in trying to publicise this, because you can't publicise something like this with a 2D. I mean, they did a similar thing with Les Dawson on ITV.
Didn't work, did it?
It didn't work on TV, but I tell you, the cutaway shots of the audience looking back, and everybody, and the celebrities and everybody who's in the audience that saw it were blown away. Yeah. And the quality of that wasn't anywhere near as what we will be doing, but it blew them away because of what they saw.
Well, I can't wait to see it. Let's do the big plug then. Where can people get tickets? When does the show open?
Tickets are available online at www.thedustyshow.com and from all good ticket agencies. We start previews on the 28th of May, and the opening is 3rd of June. So full tickets will be on sale. Buy them now.
Great. Just put in Dusty Musical and it does actually come up at the top of Google as well. Really great to talk to you. Thank you so much for your time and good luck with this. I can't wait to see it. Duncan Sibbald is the co-writer and producer of this brand new musical coming into London. Dusty will be taking to the stage, literally, and I wish you all the best with it. Thank you for talking to me.
Thanks.